Welcome to Beer Bullstein on the SHR Media Network, and also thank you to the fine folks over at KLRN Radio for the simulcast. Tonight, it is Friday, the year of our Lord 2026, April 10th, the day after my wife's birthday, which is a special day because it's happy birthday plus one. Tonight is a special night. It is 7 p.m. on the Eastern Seaboard, 4 p.m. Pacific. Welcome to our channel. Tonight's a special night, though, because I actually have a special guest in the house. I don't want to sit there and waste too much time, but I do want to get his I'm going to keep that up a little bit. There we go. I'm going to get his thing, just so you all know who he is. He is Twitter's leading Amish attorney, the 11th plague of Egypt, the Order of Polkak Moonbeam. This man has been one of my favorite follows on Twitter for I don't know how long. We have Ordnance Jay Packard Esq. How are you doing, sir?
You know what? It is fucking beautiful out here in sunny California, and I'm living life, drinking beer, and jamming out to your tunes, man. So
absolutely, I wrote that.
I'm here.
Oh, that's nice. What are you drinking tonight?
I am drinking Firestone Walker 805. It's a Pilsner blonde ale out of California Central Coast.
Outstanding. I'm just going old school Irish and with a little bit of a Guinness tonight. So Guinness stout. Let me get this chair broken in. There we go. But what I would like to...
Colonel Jack O'Neill said, Guinness is a wonderful substitute for food.
It is. Absolutely. You can drink Guinness for an entire week and still take a solid shit. It's amazing. So
there's some fucking truth there.
You know what? I was going through Twitter today, and I saw the greatest thing and why RAM prices, because I was actually going to update my RAM in my computer, and why RAM prices are so high. And I found the perfect reason why, and this is it. Everything would be better if it was Chuck Norris, right?
Yeah. You know, I got one bone of contention with that video. Lopan did nothing wrong.
Lopan actually did nothing wrong, but you know what? Chuck Norris is God. So he is the Reaper now.
Yeah, there is that. If if that's the price we got to pay for high RAM, fucking worth it.
Well, you know what? Let's bring it a little bit more personal. Let's talk politics in high RAM.
Okay. Yeah.
I want to tell you.
Oh, there's old Rosie O'Donnell.
The president is absolutely failing to lead this country.
Better?
Yeah. The thing that would have been the absolute cherry on top of all that, if during the Ruffalo thing, if he had turned around and said, Walker told me I have AIDS.
Oh, right. And
for you young kids, that was a very special episode of Walker.
That was a very special episode. I see Rowdy Rick Robinson. Don't tax the Rick in the chat. He says he's first just so I know I beat Amish. Don Cox Guinness for the win, or let's see, Decon. I'm sorry, Decon. My glasses need updating. Outstanding. Welcome here. Welcome to the moderators. Thank you for being here. Let's start off real quick with some serious stuff. I want to bring up, and I know this is kind of a point of contention, but I'm going to bring up Al Green real quick. And I want to know, if, first off, does he ever open his eyes? But we're going to find out.
We've got to reconcile our differences. So we need a Secretary of Reconciliation, just as we have a Secretary of Education, a Secretary of Labor. We need a Secretary of Reconciliation who would report directly to a president, not this president, directly to a president. And the job would be to reconcile our differences, and that reconciliation for me, I say this with no shame, no embarrassment. I am unapologetically black, and I say this, that would include reparations. Reparations for the 240 years of free labor that people still benefit today from, and that we were locked out of opportunities along the way while they were benefiting. So I believe in reparations. And Reverend, there are some people who don't want reparations, but here's my solution to that. I'll take their share. We've got to reconcile our...
So what are your thoughts on this video? First off, hold on. I'm going to say one thing real quick. I do think it's funny that Al Green would take their share when he's worth $5.9 million to $10 million just with a quick Google search. You know, he's very, very generous to take their share. But what were your thoughts on that one?
He's just an absolute grifter. But the thing that stuck out on me is that the king of all race baiters, Al Sharpton, wasn't even paying attention, didn't even want to hear any of that bullshit, and just gave a polite little chuckle when it was all over. Because he knows this is setting back everything he's spent the last 60 years doing.
Right.
You know,
exactly.
So, I mean, because it's like, if everybody's getting reparations, well, who can he hustle? Can't race hustle anymore. Exactly.
Mission Ready Men in the house. Big E Earl Jackson just came in. Hello there, Big E. But sorry, it's just kind of an interesting thing. Like you said, like he's just sitting there, he's checked out for most of it. And it's kind of it's an old tired thing. Reparations. I mean, let's take a look at that. I mean, granted, I get it. I'm a standard issue white guy. All right. You know, I don't have a dog in this fight, you know, as far as getting reparations here. But how do you say, okay, well, you get it, but you don't get it? Because, you know, how do you do that? How do you I mean, we're going to make everybody go to ancestry.com and go and you know, detect their lineage back to the 1860s. I mean, are we, I mean, how do you do that?
Unless you got a bill of sale, you know, from the 250 years of the North Atlantic slave trade, I'm sorry, you don't have a case. You really don't, because it's not like that there hasn't been mass immigration from Africa since then. You know, all of it done, most of it done properly until current year. But, you know, it's so you get to say, okay, so you 12 get to have reparations, but you 200 don't, because your problems were on the continent and you weren't here. So, yeah, I mean, quite like I said, unless they have a bill of sale, I don't see how they can legitimize it.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Without digging up your ancestors and figuring it out. But besides, why this is my big problem with federal taxes. You know, this is why I believe in the fair tax, you know, basically a national sales tax, is why is someone like, say me, I'm up in Massachusetts, right? My family wasn't slave owners. All right. I know this for a fact. You know, I've actually done the ancestry thing. My family was not slave owners. I now live in Massachusetts. Why would someone from Massachusetts in my position have to pay for someone in, say, like Alabama or North Carolina or Georgia who was, you know, through their taxes? Because it would have to come through their taxes. It's the same argument of, why am I paying for a bridge in New York?
No, and
you get my point.
Why are you paying for California's high speed rail?
Exactly.
You know,
why am I doing that?
Dig? You know,
what? And coincidentally, why was anybody paying for Boston's big dig? You know,
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's a local issue. So it comes down to is, I mean, why this right here, my counter argument to all of that is fair tax. You know,
Sure.
you don't want to be taxed, don't buy anything.
Yeah, no,
You know?
no, it's absolute consumption tax. You know, and they're gonna say,
Exactly.
oh, well, the rich don't pay their fair share. Well, you buy that Bugatti, the rich are paying their fair share. You know?
Oh, hell yeah. A 1% sales tax on everything. I mean, to include food. I mean, we can actually take food off the table. We'll take food off the table just to be fair.
Sure.
All right.
But you know, at grocery store, not fast food.
Grocery store, not fast food. I'd agree with that. Yeah. You go and get your Big Mac and all that stuff. That's going to get a 1% sales tax, you know, national sales tax. I mean, that alone would fund everything.
Yeah, no, totally. And you know, any additional taxes on that. It's like, I don't have a problem with TOT taxes, you know, tax on tourism.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's big in my area. That's I live in a heavy tourist area. That's the bread and butter of the county. That's how the county pays for the roads and shit. So I don't have a problem with that because those are people coming into our area and using our services. I'm cool with that.
But that's a local tax.
That's a local tax. Again, a federal 1% tax I'm on board with. Even though taxation is theft, and you know, even then I don't have a problem with tariffs either, because once again, that's a consumption tax.
Yep. Absolutely.
So yeah.
Absolutely. Let's see. We got Blondie and Jack Boozer in the thing. Welcome in the chat, in the thing. I like it. My terminology is very technical and very specific. So
keep up. Yeah.
It's very, very technical.
One thing, you wanted to talk background real quick, and because Rowdy Rick's in the chat, I got to tell you a story. I got to tell you an early.
Oh yes, absolutely.
Story back in the day. So back during Gamergate, Politibunny, before we had a show together, she had me on as a guest, right? And
the bunny foo.
She was having a hard time wrapping her brain around Gamergate, so she brought me on. Anyway, so Rick was our producer. Rick asked me after the show, "Hey, you want to be on my show?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'll come on as a guest of your show." We're doing the show. We're right in the middle of the first break. And he's all, "Oh, hey, I don't want to freak you out." This is when KLRN used to go out terrestrial on the weekends. He's all, "There's going to be like 2.5 million people listening to this through the course of the weekend." And I'm like, "Oh, great. No fucking pressure on me." So, yeah, here's just some Twitter asshole who's talking about video games. And yeah, just throw me out to the wolves. That's cool. So,
that's awesome.
KLRN history for you. Yeah. Yeah.
Now, what else do you do? I know you do some writing. I know you're definitely, as you say, a Twitter asshole. But I know you do some writing for some various media outlets. Where can people find you?
I'm going to be coming online soon with Twitchy. I've been saying that for a year, but I've had a lot of personal shit come up in that time. And so I'm going to be writing for Twitchy again soon. And basically you can just see me farting out tweets on Twitter. I mean, I do a bunch of podcasts on KLRN. Let's see, just coming up this week, we do the Curse of Stephaneros, which is on later, which is a bunch of us from KLRN doing doing D&D sessions.
Which I'm jealous of. So.
Yeah, no, it's good fun. Let's see, Saturday, we're going to be recording, but usually Saturdays I'm on with Rick on Juxtaposition, where we have our Conspiratainment show. Sundays, I'm on the Vincent Charles Project on KLRN. We do, generally we're just doing shit movies. Like this weekend, we're doing Robot Jocks.
Oh, Jesus, one of my favorites.
No, that was great. We're doing it because all the tie-in with our Japanese bros, we figured we'd go with the most, well-known. Yeah. Let
me tell you this, man. I knew I got during COVID, I knew I got to the end of Netflix when I found Robot Jocks again. So,
back in the 90s, I was working in a video store, and on the weekends, if that thing wasn't checked out, I'd bring it home and just smoke a fuck ton of weed and watch it all weekend long.
Right? Who would have thought a big giant chainsaw coming out of the crotch of a robot would be a bad thing? I mean, come on, that is like the coolest thing ever.
Not entertainment, right?
Right?
I also got a bunch of other shows on during the week on KLRN. Men Explained Poorly, Rick and Orty, Culture Shift with Brad Slager, where we take a deep dive into the entertainment business industry. And
wow,
yeah.
So I'm actually honored that you took some time out to come and talk to me. That's pretty badass.
Oh, anytime.
Thank you.
Anytime. Like I said, you're breaking my SHR media cherry. You're going in. The dildo of SHR comes unlubed.
Yes, I'm going in dry, baby.
Nice.
Going in dry. So let's see here. We figured out who you are. Let's figure out who I am. You all know who I am. Let's see here. Islam is a death cult. Wow. Actually, you know what? We're going to go ahead and we're going to get into our main topic of this evening because it is now about 7:17. This is what's coming up. Let me see if I can get it going here.
Congressman, if Republicans keep enabling Trump, what will Democrats do if they win control of Congress in November to hold Trump accountable next year?
Well, clearly, one of our key goals is to reestablish the checks and balances that were put into place by the Constitution and which our Republican colleagues are failing to uphold in this moment. And so among the things that we must do, in my personal opinion, is that we must proceed to impeach the president. We must impeach any cabinet official or official who has enabled illegal and unconstitutional behavior. And I believe that whatever administration comes in after this administration has to take seriously the prosecution of any crimes. It's not just enough for Congress to investigate individuals who have committed crimes against U.S. citizens, against immigrants, against war crimes internationally, need to be held accountable under the law.
So what I'm hearing there is obstruct, and then chill with prosecution.
Yeah.
Are you hearing anything different?
No, what I hear is just petulant fucking children. That's all I hear from them. And yeah, but this is a very stupid, we told them in the last administration, it's a stupid game. You don't want to play it. And they thought they got away with it with, under Biden. It's like, look at all the shit we're going to do. And none of it stuck. None of it, their impeachments didn't stick last time. Their prosecutions didn't stick under Biden. And, I hate to go back to Gamergate, but, when they started the whole cancel culture thing, it's like, this is a stupid game and you don't want to play it. And then after Charlie Kirk, they found out why, because not only is the right very good at their stupid fucking games, we're better than them at it. And we're much more tactical in our targets. So, while they just try and, go al dente, throw a bunch of shit against the wall and see what's going to stick, they don't want to play this game. They think they want to play this game, but we can play this game too. We just haven't yet. We didn't even try the 25th Biden when there was all the evidence in the world we could have. And
Well, we could have with that. Plus, there's a number of other things that could have been happening, as soon as Trump took over. There's like the auto pen, fiasco that was going on. How many people use that auto pen that should not have had access to it? That should have, a lot of that could be completely invalidated too. And I'm wondering how much is still like under investigation. Now that we saw how useless fucking Bondi was, now it's like, okay, so we get somebody else in, maybe all this shit that we've been like, everything you promised isn't happening. Well, there was your goddamn brick wall right there. Like Legally Blonde, now that she's gone. Well, the next couple of months are going to pretty much tell us, right? If I start seeing some perp walks, that'd be kind of nice.
Yeah.
Some perp walks, some actual investigations into people, maybe a FBI raid a la Roger Stone on somebody's house. All that other good stuff.
Sure.
Mikey Trout here says, if Democrats ever get the White House again, they will arrest conservatives just for voting for Trump. You know what? I don't think we are very far from that. I'm going to put that up on the screen real quick. I don't think we're very far from that, to be honest with you.
What's the third box again? I can't remember. You got the third soap box, the ballot box. What's the third box again?
Oh, that would be the ammo box.
Yeah, the cartridge box.
Yeah.
So, that's when I did a long forum tweet a long time ago about you think you want a civil war, but you really don't, because it's not going to be, lined up, shooting at each other like we did 150 years ago. It's going to be like the Purge meets the Troubles in Ireland on meth.
It's going to be house to house, neighbor versus neighbor, and it's going to be very ugly.
Everybody who had a slight against by the HOA, that's getting resolved very bloodily, and that's going to trickle up.
You mean I can't put my flag up? Yeah, okay.
I'll show you where I'm going to put my flag up. And then they just go like Blood Tepe with the flags all along their lawn.
Right. What's this about green tip? I couldn't hear that. What? No, I was actually, I went out shooting with my buddy a couple weeks ago, and he's never shot a rifle before. So I took him out and let him shoot my M1A Scout. Nice 7.62. Oh, beautiful, beautiful weapon. Nice bipod on the front, scout scope on the front, on the top of it. And, he's doing pretty good. It's a scout scope, so it's pretty hard to miss. And he's got a pretty good group going. And, I'm kind of just messing around, because to be honest with you, I haven't been to the range for a long time, because I'm going to bring it back up because of the Cartier cam here. Whoops. I'm going to put you down here with me. How can I? Why is this doing it this way? We got to get Cartier up top. There we go. The Cartier cam, because she does not do well around gunfire. All right. And she is my service dog. So it's kind of one of those, I got to make a special thing, So when she was not there with us, went out to the range, and, I was just messing with him, doing things. And then all of a sudden we were getting down to like our last 20 rounds. And he's like, okay, what's going on? And I'm like, all right, here we go. So I started making a nice little bullet hole about yay big with all 20 rounds. I'm like, it's been a minute since I shot. I just didn't want to make you feel bad.
Right.
I was just haven't done this in a while. I was just messing around. But my point of the matter is, it's like, you've got a whole bunch of us, dudes like me who are out here, and we're watching, and we're just waiting. Okay. And it's not that we want to start anything, because God knows I don't want blood in the streets, because that's just bad. Yeah. That's just bad for everybody. However, nobody wants that. But when shit, push comes to shove, man, don't test me. Most of us are armed. Most of us are very well armed, Let's see. What is this? And what is this? I could never trust anyone who molested a 7-year-old little girl who died and didn't raise from the grave. That's done. Oh, we're still talking about Islam in the chat. Yeah. Okay. That's nice. Well, then.
Hey, I got to tell a story about the last time I took a virgin out to the range too. So,
perfect. Go for it.
I had him on my my Ruger 1020, 1022, and he was having fun, and he's just plinking off. I just said, use as much as you want. I got crates of 22 LR ammo, and I'm over his shoulder. I'm next to him, hitting at the same target he was hitting, and I had my I had him out at about 25 yards, and I had my old lever action Winchester Model 94 octagon barrel with iron sights, and I'm putting him right next to his shots. So he's just like,
oh, shit.
Did I shoot that one? I said, okay, give it a shot. Yeah, you would have thought that I had just ripped his shoulder off when he pulled that thing. No padding on the butt, just straight brass plate on wood, right against it. I'm all hold it tight, and you can tell them to hold it tight, but they still got that little bit of fear, and they don't hold it as tight as So, that's he had fun. He looked around, he's like, give me another round. I'm like, all right,
give me another one. This was my buddy Donovan firing. That went somewhere. Did you see how much that thing just there was a little bit of things. Yeah. But the fun part is he did everything safely, which was good. And then of course he didn't know.
Look at that grin.
I'm glad we came out.
Yeah.
Well, let me get that back here. Get rid of that. There we go. Cool. Actually, you know what? what do you guys in the comments think? Are we headed towards a civil war? Are we actually just getting to the point where things are going to get nuts? Can we as a country can get over the whole left versus right bullshit that is coming down? Because let's face it, right now we've got the Democrats again threatening impeachment again, and then basically trying to obstruct everything going on with the country again, and then are threatening actual legal prosecutions after the fact. You know, right. And the fun part is the hypocritical portion of this is Obama did everything that Trump is doing right now for 7 months in Libya, and they didn't say boo about it. So I want to hear about what you think in the comments section while I queue up this next video real quick. Wherever it went, there it is. There it is. Just see what's going on here.
If Democrats win the House and possibly the Senate in November, there's a better than even chance Donald Trump gets impeached again.
Absolutely. He should be impeached now. I mean, he's taken us into a disastrous war, threatening war crimes in Iran in terms of the knocking out plants and not.
All right. First off, right. Time out. As a military guy, knocking out a power plant is not a war crime. Not a war crime.
Boy, if it was a war crime, then we got to get Bill Clinton for the 91 power plants that we took out in Kosovo.
Exactly. So not a war crime, legitimate target. Yeah. You know, you start bombing houses, war crime. All right.
Right.
And let's continue.
And electricity.
The argument with the school, I mean, from everything I see, that school was either on an IRGC base or next to it. Unfortunate thing, but you know what?
You got to break a few eggs every once in a while, you know? Yeah. Oh, no, I hear you.
Disastrous war, threatening war crimes in Iran in terms of the knocking out plants and knocking out electricity. And the Democrats will impeach him once we take back the House, and should impeach him for all the things he's done. And depending on the Senate, he may face conviction if we get to 60.
If Democrats.
Yeah. Okay. So
yeah,
we're going to impeach him based on bullshit feelings and bullshit. Mm-hmm. So that's pretty much what they're saying over and over and over. And it's just kind of one of those, like, what the hell, guy? Go ahead.
I'm kind of, you know, I'm not 100% convinced right now about they're going to take it. Yes, historically correct. The party in power loses the House in the midterms. Yep. Historically correct. However, if you see how low Dems are polling and Trump's numbers really haven't moved. Yeah, they took a little bit of a dip when Iran started. But again, that's just anytime you go to war, that happens. And so unless you're Bush 43, but he had extenuating circumstances that actually helped him. But I'm not convinced they are going to take the House. I just don't see it.
Well, my issue with it is I don't think Dems are going to win the House. I think Republicans are going to lose it.
Right.
You know, just looking at
be a split.
Yeah, it's going to be. I think there's 20 Republicans right now that are all like, "Oh, well, we need more red flag laws, and we need this, and we need that." All these leftist talking points. Reasons for not voting for the SAVE Act. You know, all these dumb things which are completely against all the polling, 100% against the polling.
The 20 that are against that are for the Dignity Act, and you know that. Yeah. I mean, I don't understand. I mean, we talked about it with the SAVE Act. Even in California, you know, Trump did pretty well this last election. And illegal immigration is a big deal among the legal Hispanic population. You know, they're not too, you know, they're against illegal immigration too. I mean, yeah, their cousins are getting over, but it's like, yeah, my cousin's cool, but that guy's an asshole.
Exactly.
You know? Right. So, you know, if you get outside the family unit, then they're kind of like, they're not as up for illegal immigration as the Dems paint everyone to think.
Exactly. Well, boys and girls, I am actually out of beer, so it's time for me. It is time for me to go grab another one, right? So we'll be right back right after this commercial break.
Welcome to the Reaver of Common Sense, where we cut through the noise of news and politics with a sharp edge. Tune in every Monday and Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for a refreshing dose of reality. We fearlessly tackle the tough topics with no nonsense, just pure common sense. Visit shrmedia.com to discover where you can catch the Reaver in action. He is here to amplify your inner logic. He may not always be polite. He may not always be refined. But one thing is for sure. He always tells it like it is. The Reaver of Common Sense.
Attention, all patriotic women of faith. Yep, I'm talking to you, sis. Are you looking for high-quality, super soft apparel that reflects your love for country and your devotion to God? Look no further than Carry Girl Gear. Picture this. You rocking a tee so soft it's like being hugged, all while showing off your love for God and country. Sounds dreamy, right? Well, welcome to reality, babes, because that's what we're all about here at Carry Girl Gear. We specialize in tees, tanks, and more, designed specifically for the strong, patriotic woman who proudly wants to carry their message of faith and freedom. When you shop with us, you're not just getting a t-shirt. You're joining a community of like-minded women who are proud to wear their beliefs straight on their tees. So whether you're sipping sweet tea on the porch or leading the born in freedom meets fashion.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Love it. I love recording this song too. It was fun as all hell. Welcome back to the SHR Media Network and simultaneously simulcast on the KLRN Radio Network. This is Beer Bullstein. I am your host, Lyle Armstrong. With me, as always, is my support canine, Cartier, who is off screen right now, because we have a special guest, Jay Packard, the Ordnance man himself. You have to tell me exactly how you got that nickname. That's got to be a good story.
All right. So during one of my back in the days of Jack on Twitter, I went through like 20 accounts. I couldn't even create another variation of my original account without it being auto suspended. So a friend of mine had a backup account where it was an Amish satire account named Packard, or was it Ordie Packard? And so he's all, hey, you can use this one. And so I was using that, and then I leaned heavy into the Amish thing. I've created a whole rake fighting champion, work, and Twitter's leading Amish attorney. So I've created this whole mythos around it. So Ordie got suspended a couple times, and I said, okay, Ordie, Ordnance. There we go. So yeah.
As an ordinance, I mean, actually, I think that was my first interaction with you. Was are you really an ordinance guy? Because like you were talking like, what am I just talking about? I'm like, are you a brother? Can you be my friend? Please, please be my friend.
I'm a big military geek. Military history, military equipment. It's always been a hobby of mine. I tried to get into the military in 92, 93. But that was
the Bill Clinton years.
Yeah, that was when Clinton was downsizing during the dividend of peace and all that shit. And I had a slight hip dysplasia corrected when I was a teenager, and that was enough to disqualify me.
Oh, of course.
I scored high on my ASVAB, scored high on my D-Lab. I was going in counterintelligence, Fort Huachuca, Arizona, Fort Ord, all that stuff. And then they just went, nope. So.
Nope. Sorry. God.
I wore tidy whities to the MEPS. The flight surgeon pulled me off the line when he saw my surgery scars, sent me in for x-rays, and that was it. If I'd worn
So you don't even get to show your butthole to the old man, did you?
No, didn't even get that far.
Man, that's an experience as an 18-year-old kid. So
and for those of you who are old school West Coast and you're wondering if I'm lying, I stayed at the Viscount Hotel to go to the LA MEPS.
Yep. That's yeah. I was in East Coast, I was middle America guy, but I was down in St. Louis myself. But no, that's how it is. Tidy whities, do the duck walk, go show your butthole to an old man, all that other good stuff. Not kidding. I still have no idea why you still show your butthole to an old man.
Especially when they got women, But it's funny too. Funny story about that was I took the ASVAB in high school, and then I was just some fucking punk tweaker down in San Diego in the early '90s. And I said, you know what, nothing's going on in my life. I'll go try. So I walk into a Marine recruiter, and I mean, seriously, I got a 2-foot mohawk, piercings all over the place. They didn't believe a word I said, so they sat me down and gave me the ASVAB, and then all of a sudden they're on the phone before I even got back to my house. They're like, can you come back down?
Back.
Talk to you. Yeah.
No. We were just kidding. Come back.
It was there was some mall in fucking Oceanside, California, when they had a Marine and Navy recruiter in there. So,
I got called in, and the guy's like, I have a job for you. And I'm like, what? And they're like, it works with explosives. You like to blow things up, right? And I'm like, yeah. I was that guy that got a chemistry set when he was 6, blew his eyebrows off, never saw the cat again for a week. It was
so
awesome.
Much shit on fire. I should have gone for that.
Exactly. And the next thing you know, he's like, I got a job for you. And apparently I was filling a quota, but it was good. 22 years later, it's one of the best careers I ever could have possibly thought of. So, now I'm bored. Now they don't let me blow things up for a living anymore. Not legally anyway.
Tannerite only goes so far.
Tannerite's fun, but no, Tannerite in large quantities would be a lot better.
Sure.
Like 50, 60 pounds of it, Well,
the funny thing,
maybe
you're
100.
talking about filling a quota. I finally got in touch with an Army recruiter who gave me the time of day. And so I had to ride 6 hours with that guy on the MEPS in his car. And the whole time he's like going, yeah, I know you qualified for this, but you need to go into tanks. Tanks is awesome. I was in tanks. You should be tanks. I'm like, you're filling a quota, aren't you?
Yep.
Yep.
Yes, you are. Yeah. Yes, you are. So, actually, at this point, what do we got going on here? I'm actually going to do it. I know we were talking about it, but we're going to open up the phone lines real quick. 202-503-2271. We might have callers. We might have some callers, and everything's all set up. I have this all set going. Good to go. 202-503-2271 if you want to be a part of the program. If you think I'm a jerk, if you think I'm an asshole, if you think Ordy is like greatest gift towards the Amish community, you're my lawyer, so I can't say that.
As your attorney, as you know,
I do that, yes, and I've never been one for taking advice very well. I do notice that we're
never go to tell them that you don't believe that they action over you because there's gold braiding on it.
That is true. Again, I'm the guy that
Miss
made
Gail
Master
Gribble.
Sergeant twice. So, oh, excuse me. This actually might be a time to show this again, just because it's fun. Yeah, I'm sorry. I just love that. I just love that. Exactly. But no, he smiled. So there you go. He's like, oh, that was too good for you. What? That being said, the Artemis mission should actually be splashing down here pretty soon. I was actually just trying to figure out if I could get a live update of where they're at. 2 updates. There we go. Where are they? That's not going to do me any good. This is the official broadcast and it's live. They should be splashing down in 24 minutes. I'm actually I'm going to do this.
Good,
I'm going to do this real quick.
You see? Okay, yeah, go ahead. You see what's going on with Swalwell right now?
Yeah, what's going on with him now? I know he's coming out.
Which is funny because, okay, so like you got Steyer who's running. So California politics right now, you got 2 GOP and a clown car of fucking Dems to replace Newsom, right? So the top 2 right now are GOP. You got Hilton.
Wait a minute. Did you say clown car?
Yeah.
So something like, I do.
Nice. Yeah,
I got some music for it anyway.
Yeah. So you got Hilton and Bianco. They're the top 2. California is a top 2 state. So if they stay as the top 2 through the primary, then you'll have 2 GOP running for governor on the ballot, right?
Okay.
So for third place, you have Swalwell, Porter, and Steyer, all kind of tied for third. Swalwell starts edging ahead, then Steyer goes against him on the, hey, you're not even a California resident thing, and he's a fucking tech billionaire, so he's spending all kinds of money attacking that angle. Now today, you have the San Francisco Chronicle, the vast right-wing platform of the Bay Area. I'm kidding. That thing is so progressive. It's not even fun.
I was going to say the shit turns out lefty.
Right. Yeah, I could take a shit in San Francisco and it'd be voting Democrat by the time it hit the ground.
Right.
But so you have the San Francisco Chronicle dropping a story today about one of his staffers who was 19 at the time. He was hitting on her all the time, and then he pulled his dick out in the car and had her suck it. And then she turns 21, still working for him. They go out for drinks. She blacks out. He wakes up in his hotel room, obviously feeling like she had sex. And then it happened again a few years later after she no longer worked for him. And this is coming on the heels of other allegations that, okay, well, this person's kind of tied to Katie Porter. Doesn't matter. Still, believe all women. Me too. And so, yeah.
Me too.
Yeah. So now, as I've been watching today, the California Teachers Union has rescinded their endorsement of Eric Swalwell. Half of the politicians, even I guess I'm just finding out Schiff came out about it too. The only people who haven't said anything are Newsom, our buddy Ted Lieu, and a couple others. But
Really?
I'm wondering. Well, they all want him to drop out of the race for governor, but nobody's talking about him resigning from his, rep.
Well,
position.
no, because that would give power away.
Right.
Because and let's face it, Republicans hold office, Democrats hold power.
Right. No, that's fucking dead accurate. I mean, we pulled out Santos for much, much less. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So
because we actually hold our people accountable. And that's the difference between, and I've said this on this program before. I'll say it in front of you. The founders made one mistake, one giant freaking mistake when they wrote all our source documents. They believed that this country would be run by moral men for now to eternity. And the problem is it's not. That was the only mistake they made. The only thing that they didn't put a provision in for it other than, well, you'll vote them out. Well, the problem is morality in this country has gone to absolute shit. I mean, I am not the most moral person. All right. There is no halo up here. All right.
I am the least moral person you've ever met, but
exactly. But
I'm I do know I'm immoral.
But my point is like, I do know right from wrong, and I do call out bullshit when I see it. And, raping a 19-year-old girl, using your position of power to get a blowjob in a car. Right. That's rape. I mean, whether you consider it consensual or not, that's rape. I'm sorry, dude.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's a big thing. We've been told by 3 different waves of feminism about the dangers of the power dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And now all of a sudden that.
No, not at all.
I mean, I'm not one to talk. I could never hold a political position because the skeletons in my closet have skeletons in their closet.
Since my herd.
Right.
There's a whole herd of them back there. But
right.
No, I'm absolutely. I'll call out your skeletons though. That's fine.
Yeah.
But Mike's skeletons be in the background going, "Hi, how you doing?"
How you doing? Yeah. Is it the keg over here? What is it? Is it a cup fee or how does that work?
No,
it's cup and drink for free.
It's free all the time in EOD headquarters, Beer and Bullstein here. You just come on over and drink.
There you go. Nice.
That being said, 202-503-2271, a part of the program. Talk to Ordnance Jay Packard and myself, or if you want to talk to my dog, I'll even put her up here and let you talk to her. If your conversation gets too nutty, you might just end up talking to my dog.
Yeah, that'll happen anyway.
Okay, Shaggy.
Right.
But actually, while we're here, it is 7:49. I do want to put up one thing real quick because the SHR Media store, because we got to pay the bills real quick. Let me put it. Yeah, we got to do this because it is imperative. Oh shit! I just dropped my mouse. Uh-oh.
Watch out! There's gravity over there.
Yeah, there's still gravity on Earth. I'm watching the Artemis thing. That'll float back up, right?
In the words of the great
SHR Media,
Zach Brannigan, you win again, gravity.
You win again. The SHR Media, you come over here. You can get all the news that is important to print. You can check it out right there under the SHR Media shops. I keep clicking too soon. Yes, a shop. The 250 to read source document shirt is still available. Code FREEDOM for a 10% off in the store. You can hit the full collection, and I will tell you this right now. Here's the full collection. The newest one is the top right one over here, the Beer Bullstein in the olive drab green, which will make you sexy, slimmer, more intelligent looking, and just an all-around great guy if you wear that. That cup, the SHR Media mug, as topical as it is, will survive re-entry. I'm sure that the Artemis crew all have theirs ready to go, and hopefully it doesn't hit a window or anything, because that window will not survive. I have my own. It has flown across a couple times because I irritated Mrs. Lyle Armstrong. And as we have just a limited amount of time, can people find you?
You can find me as Ordnance Packard on Twitter, surprisingly still. Like I said, you can find me on various sundry shows on KLRN. You can find me on Curse of Stefaneros, Juxtaposition, Vincent Charles Project. You can find me on Men Explained Poorly, Rick and Ordy, Toxic Masculinity, and the Culture Shift. All of those are on KLRN Radio. And hopefully soon writing again for Twitchy. So
and hopefully soon coming back here to the SHR Media to be my secret love partner. Guest. And
we need that. You need to have Secret Lovers playing in the background if you're going to drop that, man.
Secret lovers. I can't do that very well. But it was a pleasure having you here tonight. This was a very big honor for me to have you around because I've been talking to you for I don't know how long. Just forever.
No, it's great. Here, I'm glad you're the one who broke my SHR Media cherry. And no, this has been fun. Yeah, anytime you want me on, I'm happy to come and just hang out, bullshit, pet your dog, whatever.
Oh, well, here you go.
Yeah.
Put her up here. Whoops. You and me need to be down. God damn it.
Yeah,
there we go.
You need to have me up there. I'll just put the doggo. Doggo's more important than my bullshittery little logo there.
She's a good girl. Hey, you want to say hi? Do you want to do it today? Say hi. Say hi.
See, the fact you got a dedicated doggo cam, that's huge for me, man. That's big.
The Cartier cam, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you can see that I'm a huge Star Wars geek. So
who isn't? I mean, obviously,
right.
We joke about it on KLRN on that. Man, the sequels really made the prequels not that bad, didn't they?
They did make them way more attractive. I will say that.
Yeah. Damn near tolerable. Not that I'm running out to watch them, but
No, but I'm not shutting them off if they're on Lifetime or something.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like the Solo origin story that just completely sodomized the franchise.
Oh, pretty much, yes. Oh,
yeah. And then Last Jedi took that sodomized franchise, killed it, and then sodomized the corpse.
Oh. That's right, people. Here on SHR Media, we talk about corpse sodomy and a number of other things here.
Oh, hey, while we're on the topic, did I ever tell you my theory? Have you ever heard my theory about George Lucas?
Oh, please go for it.
All right.
Yep.
Okay, I actually won an award on Bounding into Comics forums for this one. Craziest Star Wars theory. My theory is that at some point in the 60s, George Lucas killed a man. And in that man's belongings was A New Hope and half of Empire Strikes Back.
Okay. What do you kill him for?
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. All right. I could see that.
It could have just Stephen King did. I don't know. It could have. Dude just could have been walking on the road and Lucas swerved, whatever. It doesn't matter. But the fact of the matter is that, much like Johnny Cash in Reno, George Lucas killed a man and watched him die.
Just to get that thing, just to watch him die. I love it.
Yeah. So anyway, that's my George Lucas theory.
Outstanding. Ordnance Jay Packard, thank you for joining me tonight. I got to do some bills, pay some bills here real quick. Sure. I hope to have you back really, really soon.
Lyle,
thank you for joining me, man.
I'll be happy to do it again, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. All right, that was Ordnance Jay Packard, the man, the myth, the legend, the Amish attorney from Twitter, the 11th plague of Egypt. So while we're wrapping things up here, I want you to make sure that you are going to be staying tuned for Jersey Joe, who comes up in a little bit over an hour at 9 p.m. Eastern. What is that? 6 p.m. Pacific on the Reaver of Common Sense. Do not miss that. He is absolutely amazing at his job. Unlike me, who's just kind of stumbling through life, much as I do everywhere else. Let's see. Tomorrow you will find me again here at 7 p.m., 4 p.m. On the left coast, followed by the Reaver of Common Sense again on Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern, at 6 p.m. Pacific time. And the Edge of Liberty will be coming up with Sackhead Sean, our boss, at 11 p.m. Eastern that night. Tuesday, you will have Mission Ready Man Big Earl E. Jackson coming up at the noonish hour. That is the 12 o'clock in the afternoons. So if you are having your lunch break, that is a great time to tune in and listen to some of his philosophical musings. After that, BZ Berserk Bobcat Saloon coming to you live at 11 p.m. Tuesday evening. These are all Eastern time zones. And then Wednesday, that'll be The Edge of Liberty again with Sackhead Sean at 11 p.m. Eastern. And then Thursday, again, you'll have Big Earl. Big E, Big Earl. God, I love saying that. Big E coming back at you live at the noonish time again. And then BZ will be back with you at 11. That is your next week's SHR Media Update. I do appreciate all of you being here. I do appreciate all the people in the comment section. If you agreed with me or not, moderators, thank you so much for moderating and doing your thing. I do appreciate it. And guys, it's Cartier. Cartier, you want to say bye-bye? You want to say bye-bye? You going to say bye-bye? Oh, she's going to come over. Oh, not to me. Not to me. You got to say goodbye to them. Climb up. Climb up. She's so gentle. Climb up. Don't show them your ass. No one wants to see that. Say bye-bye. Bye-bye. Say bye-bye. Bye-bye. She's confused. Bye-bye. Okay. Bye-bye. Climb up. Go away. Go away. All right. We will see you tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern time. Y'all stay safe, stay free, stay with each other, take care of yourselves and each other, and we will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.